record first. There we go. Remember all the steps here. Now live stream, Facebook. Okay, when it goes to Facebook, I'll let you guys know. On my timeline, public, go. Okay. All right. Well, I think we're live. So thank you all for coming to our Slay the Season live tonight. Okay, here we go. It's actually coming up on my screen. So let me check this out real quick. I'm gonna pull it over to the right place real in just a second. Share to somewhere. Okay, I shared it to my feed. So if Whitney, if you can go in and share it to the group as well, the Red Sleigh Workshop page, I think, or the event itself. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Um, so thank you everybody for coming. I'm Stacy Jordan. I'm with Red Sleigh Workshop. I am so happy tonight to have on this show Miss Stephanie from Holiday Joy Buy. She lives in the world of large scale holiday decor, luxury, resort decorating, all about strategy, execution, and what it takes to actually deliver during the season. She has experience, perspective, and she's super honest about how this whole thing happens behind the scenes. Yeah, you'll hear from her about that. And then I have Whitney joining us, who is a new part of Red Sleigh Workshop team. She's our administrative assistant, and she's brand new to the Christmas industry, but she's here to fill in and ask some questions. She's learning this business in real time, all of the language, the systems, what this takes. And she's also a mom with her little kids back there. So if they start screaming, then I think how old are they, Whitney? They're like 4 and 5.
They are 3 and 4.
3 and 4. Okay, I was close.
Oh, so
Yeah,
you're in it.
two boys.
So it
Yeah.
gets real crazy, and they are boys. Yes.
Yeah. So I'm super excited to have like both of you here, and then to have a combination of like the seasoned industry professional with Stephanie, and then have Whitney brand new, like fresh eyes on everything. And so let's go ahead and let Stephanie introduce herself, and then we'll let Whitney introduce herself. So go ahead, Stephanie.
Hi, I'm Stephanie, and I quit my job to join the Christmas industry like 2 years ago. And I launched a retail store, a direct-to-consumer website, and started going into commercial and high-end design. So I kind of went into everything all at once versus taking off smaller bite-sized pieces, which has been very fun. A little bit of backstory about me. I was the VP of merchandising and e-commerce for 15 plus years across fashion. So I've been in the startup space for a very long time. But I also have a Christmas background. So my mom started a Christmas store in the Middle East and has one of the most popular Christmas stores in the Middle East. So I grew up going on installation, learning about installation, being a part of commercial Christmas from a very young age. And then that kind of translated to me deciding I wanted to quit my job and do this full time because I essentially was like, I'm miserable in fashion. When was the last time I was happy? And I was like, doing this. So now I'm here. Stacy and I had a lot of fun this season with some of our really large scale, larger than life commercial Christmas installations. And it's been really great.
Yep, it's been great. I'm just really glad everything is in the warehouse now. I'm really glad it's all in there. Today, the storage people, I called the
Great is a
storage
fun
people,
word for
and
it.
and I said, and I'm like, all the locks are off the storage. Time to go. Like we're good. So it was all like the final phone call for that side of it. Okay, Whitney, go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell us your name and why you're here. I mean, I know I said jump on this Zoom with me because Patrick's gone, but besides that, tell us a little bit more about you.
So my name's Whitney. My last industry and business was in car sales, so I really love, yeah, I really love people. And since I met Stacy, I've always looked up to her and her vast, like, knowledge in this industry. And I was like, wow, it's just like so mind blowing, just like everything you can do with Christmas, right? And
Right.
just like the all the different types of businesses that are incorporated with Christmas is just mind blowing. And I'm just like super intrigued. I'm like, give me more. I want all the knowledge, right? And who else to like learn it from other than Stacy, right? So I'm there.
All right. Thank you so much for your help. So she's going to be monitoring tonight on Facebook. Hopefully you have it up and going wherever I posted it. That what if people have questions or things to post on there or things that they're posting about what we're talking about, that's great. Just let us know and jump in and interject. Say, hey, there's a question. And then we have some people with us too that weren't on the calendar. We have Nancy, Ryan, we have Samantha and Sloan. Welcome, you guys. If you have questions too, or you want to interject, you can either raise your hand, unmute, and jump in, or put the question in the chat, and we'll answer it. So all those ways to communicate with us. Nancy, I know you're a Texas Christmas lady as well. If you want to introduce yourself and the company you're with and what you do, I'm going to give you that opportunity since we're doing introductions.
Hi, Stacy. Nice to see you again.
Yes.
I live right down the road from you now in Austin, Texas, and I
Oh, wait,
work
I
for.
thought you were up in Dallas.
No, I live in Austin.
Oh, okay. Nice. We're
Yeah,
so
so
close
not
then.
far
We're
away.
like
I was
45
in
minutes.
shirts last weekend for a party at the VFW. So I
Nice.
have been in Austin now 8 to 10 years, somewhere along then. And it was 8 years ago or so that I actually worked with Stacy on a project. I managed a project that she sold in the Christmas decor industry. And I have been working on that project ever since. And it is my favorite part of Christmas every year, getting to decorate at Knott's Berry Farm. And about 2 years ago, I was just doing that for fun every Christmas. There was an opportunity to do it full time and based in Texas and focus on bringing joy to Texas through large scale commercial. So I was working on my wrap up. I just finished my third season as a full time Christmas decorator, installer, all that. And I'm very happy. It's fun. I've worked with city shopping centers and Stephanie. You were by far my favorite feed of this last year. So when I saw this about an hour ago, I canceled all my plans. I'm like, okay, I gotta just jump in and see what's going on because I don't even use Instagram very much, or I try not to. But I love your journey and so grateful that you shared it and your bows and all the things I love about holiday decor you brought to life this season. So I'm so excited to be here today just to see another side of what we are all doing in this industry.
So
Thanks for
nice to
being
meet
here, Nancy.
you.
Yeah, so
Mhm.
great. Great to have you. And if Brad or Ryan or Samantha, if you guys want to jump on and say something, you can introduce yourselves, or you can just not, it's not, you don't have
Oh,
to,
I would not miss out on the opportunity. I'm on the call with all of my heroes and sheroes.
but
Please forgive me for not being on camera. And I hope that I'm able to successfully get through the call. I'm in Houston, Texas, and we're having some technical difficulties due to the storm, and I hope that everybody's safe. But I am just so honored to be here, especially with the amazing Stacy and um, this beautiful, beautiful woman who is my inspiration. I just constantly send her messages on Instagram, but I'm so proud of her and I just cannot wait to hear what she has to say tonight. So Stacy, thank you so much for putting this together and I'm just happy and excited to meet all of you and just learn from the best. And about me, I do have um, a holiday decor business. It's Cece's Pleasures and Creations. Um, it's a novice business, but I really enjoy what I do. It will be ultimately my retirement plan. In real life, I'm an oncology nurse. So
well,
We
thank you
all
so much
have
for
day
being here.
jobs.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I was saying we all have real lives.
Yes.
The Christmas is a shiny part that comes out a couple weeks out of the year, right? And then behind the rest of the time, we're like, whew,
Well,
life.
I love holiday decor. So if for me, it's seasonal. So because I'm getting ready to do a spring workshop, but it's just something about Christmas.
Oh, that's great. Okay, Ryan or Brad, you guys want to say anything?
Yeah, I'll jump in. This is Brad Sloan from Tampa. I run Events Done Right. We've been in business for about 18 years. only do commercial jobs only. We don't do residential. So, and our commercial is a little different than what you're talking about. We only do HOAs, but we got our minimum jobs 15,000. We have, jobs that are over 60, 70,000. So we do some large scale jobs, but I'm excited to see some of the new products because we continuously use the kind of the same stuff year after year because it works. But I want to, in the commercial space, it really hasn't gotten cloudy until the last few years. So now you kind of have to bring your A game if you're going to keep these neighborhoods because people are bringing out new stuff, fancy lights, things like that. So that's why I joined this call. So thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks so much, Brad, for being here. And we're gonna definitely go into some of that. The main focus of our talk tonight is going to be about Stephanie's business and then like luxury resort decorating as far as like hotels and then for cities. So just real quick, when somebody's talking about like luxury decorating, do they, I mean, they think, oh, is it just big trees or just big bows? Like Stephanie, give us a little rundown about what that looks like from your end. Like what does that mean to
So
you?
I,
Yeah.
I essentially work a little bit differently than a lot of people in the marketplace. So a lot of people in the marketplace, they will take the same tree and replicate it in other facilities and it'll be beautiful. But what I do is highly customized. So I go into a property or a city and I say, what will make this place or this experience shine the best? And I actually custom design everything from scratch. So in the city of Coral Gables installation, I essentially walked around and developed the concept from scratch. So all the bows that were made were designed in-house by our team and by me, and I will be selling those this year to commercial. So if that's something that you're interested in, we're going to start rolling those things out, but I don't like to roll things out until we've tested them ourselves. But we'll create a color palette for a hotel. So we'll go into the hotel, look at their facade, look at their lobby, look at that, and then we will create something custom for them that they have the option to purchase or they have the option to rent. A lot of the properties I do work with prefer to do a purchase model because essentially they are able to create something that's very bespoke for them. And so that's why I work a little bit differently. I don't take on every project because we are so custom. It's a lot more challenging to do that. And for example, now I was in a meeting today where we had created something that was like doesn't exist in the Christmas marketplace for this project in hopes that it's something that they want to see. But it's kind of like paving your own way in a new space. It's very different for the current market.
Right. And your products just look really different too. I mean, because everything's specially designed for each place you're doing. So I'm going to share the screen real quick and we're going to look at one of your projects, just your TikTok, because that's like, I mean, it's public stuff. So let's see what that's about. Whoops. Can you guys see which screen am I sharing? Can you guys see the TikTok? The TikTok. I'm so old. Yeah. Do you see it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so this is
Okay.
one of the hotel projects that we did. In that hotel, we actually created custom pillow wraps that were hand dyed in India to the property's colors. And then all of the decorations and ornaments were custom made and custom designed for the property. And even when we go into an office building, we curate for them. We also work a little bit differently because we hand decorate everything, as Stacy knows. So like
So
the
much
arch
fun.
is made on site, the trees are all decorated on site. It's
It's
painful but
fun.
beautiful.
Yeah, so this is a really good TikTok here. It goes through a couple of your installs and then it shows your shop too, which was really fun.
Yeah.
But if you guys aren't following her on TikTok, you need to because I mean, it's not just about the pretty ornaments. There's a lot of good content on here. So
Today I just did a spring entryway. That's going to be coming to life
that
soon.
sounds like fun.
Yeah.
So do we have any questions happening out on our Facebook Live right now, Whitney, or is it pretty much no one's asking anything yet? I'd like to make sure that
They haven't
everyone's
asked anything yet.
okay. All right, cool. So you talked about it being like customized for each individual place, which is amazing. I mean, I know that similar situation too, where you have to just do everything from scratch because nobody wants the same thing that somebody else has. So it becomes like this really amazing process of design and building it and getting it on time. Like one thing that people always talk about is like, what if we can't get it on time? What do we do? Then the fun part, right? Do you want to talk about that
Yeah.
a little bit? Like what happens when that happens? Because that's something that people always say, like, why it's not going to get here on time. And
So it does get here on time. We might kill ourselves to do it, but it does. So essentially a lot of the contracts that I signed late in the year. So I had to brainstorm creative ways to essentially get the product to the US on time. So there were several ways that I did that. I prefer to sign contracts earlier, as Stacy knows, because we are highly customized and the lead times. But if someone does sign it a little bit later, we essentially will air the product in, or we'll ship it to a different port or a different facility. So I actually shipped in 2 400-pound fiberglass bows on an airplane, which I don't think a lot of people know. Not the smartest decision I've ever made, but they made it to my installation.
yeah, that was fun. That was so much
Yeah.
fun, right?
And then they landed and they didn't fit in my warehouse because I have
They're
a very
fiberglass.
small, I have a very small facility.
Yeah, they're 11 feet wide. Like the bow itself is 11 feet. You know how big 11 feet is in real life? Like people think, oh, 11 feet, no big deal. It's like two of me tall. That's how big it is. It's wild.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
we essentially also do a lot of things bigger than what you'll see in the regular in the marketplace. It looks, I find that it looks more high end. So when we were doing a lot of our installations, for example, we created these custom bows for the light poles, and they're actually 2 to 3 times bigger than you would expect. Each of those bows was probably like this size. And we doubled everything up. And so we really pay attention to those details, as Stacy knows, in making sure that the design is executed flawlessly. Like all the bolts get spray painted so that they match kind of the intent of the design. Everything is hidden, just making sure that it really does feel elevated and elegant when we kind of go into execution.
Right. Super important. So I'm going to backtrack real quick because we started talking about design. We can talk about design and colors for like hours already. I want to get down to some dirt here. Like you talked about being VP of marketing, right? For
Yeah,
fashion.
I was a
Okay.
VP of merchandising
Merchandising. Okay.
at e-commerce startups for the last 15 years on and off.
Okay. And so what was the shift that you had to make to go from this position of corporate life, like the corporate gal, like this is your life, and you have a husband, you had your daughter at that time, you had one, right? So it's like what shifted? What was the change? What was the decision?
I mean, I can go back to like a little bit of my backstory. I essentially had my first baby and I was working in fashion and fashion startups. And on my way to give birth to my first child, got let go in a voicemail, which like is not like, I don't tell a lot of people this story.
You've just told the world now.
Now the world knows, but I don't, and I think that like things like this don't define you. They make you stronger and more resilient. But I essentially, at that moment, I had already been unhappy in what I was doing because it was very repetitive, and fashion is very cyclical and it's fun. And I liked the e-commerce side of it. I liked the startup side of it. I liked all those things, but I didn't really love what I was doing anymore. And I looked at my boss and essentially said, do I want to be that person in 10 years? And I didn't want to be that person. So knowing I didn't want to be her, I was like, well, what do I want to do? And I'm extremely creative and I like working with my hands and I like creating and I love Christmas. And I was like, okay, I'm going to do what my mom does. I'm going to open a Christmas store. So I'm entirely self-funded, and I started with one container of inventory, shipped it to the US, and I was like, if this doesn't work, it doesn't work, and I failed. And then I can always go back to being a merchant. So I quit my job in March. My container got stuck in port strikes. This was 2 seasons ago, and it arrived in October, and then I opened my store and landed 2 commercial projects. Then the next year I did a lot more commercial projects, and now this year go big or go home.
Right.
So I will have my retail store, my website, and more commercial projects. And my goal this year is to actually grow my website and then to, with Stacy's help, grow a wholesale division where I'm selling the products that I'm creating to other designers and other developers, because I feel like there's like a finesse that's missing that I feel like I want to share.
Nancy, you have a question?
Yeah, I was wondering what percentage of your time do you spend commercial projects versus the store versus online? What would be the breakdown?
So
90 hours a week on all of them.
I'm a strange individual. I have this ability to do like too much all at once. So essentially I was in my retail store from 9 till 6 most days during the season. But during that time, we were fulfilling online orders. My website did not get enough attention this year, but I was stocked out in the majority of my styles, so I didn't care, because I had grown a really robust business on my website without a lot of effort. And so this year, my goal is to spend more time focusing on my website, but a big chunk of my attention in November was 2 commercial projects. And then during the time, I essentially would go to the project, go to the store, go back to the project. And I have 2 very young kids, so it was quite challenging.
So the percentage is not, you can't,
It's not really, I wouldn't say I really have like a percentage, because I give it all at different times, if that makes sense.
So I guess maybe not time-wise, but would you say your business is 50%, or even maybe your goal right now, 50% online, 50% commercial? Is your goal to be less hands-on? Because I love that I feel like the more hands-on you are, the more informed you are to be great at selling and providing and creating. So you need a little bit of both, right?
So I like doing I like doing all of it, but you can ask Stacy, like I like being on installation.
Mm-hmm.
Like I like putting the wreath, I like putting the arch up. Like I like doing that myself, which is not sustainable for the future, but right now that's what I do. And I like being in the store because I learn about what people are buying. I like listening to people online because they tell me what they want. So my long-term goal is to grow my direct-to-consumer business, grow my direct-to-consumer website, and build a product line for commercial, and then take on select projects with Stacy's help. That's my long-term goal.
Awesome.
Yeah. Because Stephanie has a different, I mean, you saw some of the TikTok videos, some of her product, but it's a much different look than you
Mm-hmm.
see in the US. Like you don't see the look. And I know it comes from the long line of Christmas through her mom's company that I've known for the last 20 years. So it's all, it's a whole different style. And Stephanie brings that whole different flair. And I really want to help get that out into the hands of designers like yourself, Nancy, to put, to use her product for interior, exterior projects, because I think that just like she said at the beginning, there's something missing, right? Like a lot of people this week or last week have been at the Mart, like Vegas Mart is this week, and like Atlanta Mart already happened, right? Dallas Mart, I'm not sure when it was, but I didn't go this year. I haven't gone in a couple of years. But there's all the designers that are there. They're all the same designs. Right. I mean, but definitely there's different things and different product lines, and there's been some different designers. But in the last couple of years, it's all pretty much been the same things that we've seen come through. And some really cool companies have designers posting like on TikTok. There's a lot of people posting their designs, and that's amazing. But where is that for the rest of the companies? Like, where is that? Where can people buy that? Like, they can't. So Stephanie and I want to make it able to be purchased by people who are doing the designs, right? Because Stephanie can't put the arch up in 6 places across the US, right? I'm sorry, Stephanie, you
I've been
can't do
wondering
it.
where you got those bows for Coral Gables for months, so I'm the mystery solved.
If you want them, I can get them for you.
She built them.
Good.
She has some use you
Good.
can just actually take right now. You need a
No,
whole
just tell
26
me,
foot truck.
just tell me the measurements you need, and I'll send it over. But I will not put those things on a plane again.
No,
No.
you need to order by June or something.
Yeah.
When's the last date?
I
We don't
think
know yet.
By June she should be fine for
Yeah.
the majority of the country. Not Miami, because Miami's 72 days on the water. We're like down here. But
Yeah,
no, but
we'd have Houston, right? That's our closest place, right? Our port.
yeah, so it's interesting because I think I did see I didn't go to Atlanta, I didn't go to Dallas. A lot of people
Yeah,
are at the
I
marts.
didn't
There's a lot of
either.
really beautiful product there, but essentially a lot of people, what I see is everyone's talking about trend and they're looking at other designers and other companies to drive a trend that they're buying into. So what I'm trying to do is we're trying to develop our own aesthetic and our own perspective on trend and kind of flow that out based on what we think should be delivered. And so some of the products you're going to start seeing from us are different. Some of the products that we're going to start selling for commercial design and for residential design are going to have a little bit more elevated hand, but still be the price points that you need to be able to retail these in those projects. And I'm super excited about that aspect because I've always been a merchant and I've always really loved product. And that's where I really long term want to dig in.
Yeah, so just to segue really quickly to that. So we have her site here, which is holidayjoybuy.com. And of course, it's the end of season sale. We have that
Yeah.
happening, but I'm on the wrong spot. I, I just want to get to the right thing. Maybe she can help me walk through this. I'm trying to find your box kits. Where do those live?
Oh, if you just type it in box kit, it'll come up.
Okay.
So we developed these kits that essentially you could buy into as someone. There's multiple pieces for a tree, and we have like 30 different varieties, and we're actually launching some new ones this year that are really, really elevated. And they're essentially people can buy them and create a fully established tree with those in different colorways, different concepts. We have some in flocking that are coming out because that's been a big trend. People are really into like the rich tones of the emeralds and the burgundies. So we're working on one that looks like that this year. So just making things, and everything that we do is larger in scale. So what I noticed here is like a lot of the ornaments that people buy are 4-inch and 5-inch, and we do a lot of 6-inch and greater, which is great for commercial and great for if you're doing an HOA, because you're able to really fill the tree with beautiful pieces that kind of take up space. And we also use a lot of varieties in shape to really create diversity in your tree.
And so this is showing for interior work, but what if someone wanted to put this outside?
So we're going to be developing kits for outdoor as well. And those kits for outdoor are going to, they're just going to be outdoor grade. They will last you season after season. They likely won't have glitter, things like that, because that won't last you, but there will be pieces for outdoor that we're creating now too.
Right. I
We're
want to
going to
say,
take this look and feel and essentially translate it to, because this is all glass, but translate this to commercial. So giving you pieces that are easy to buy, easy to reuse, that feel really high end and really luxe.
what do you think your biggest bestseller was over this last season?
Bows,
Here
every
we
single bow,
every
and
single.
every single bow imaginable, because consumer bows are challenging for most people. Most people are not Christmas designers, and most people want ribbon and they want bows, but they can't do it. So for them, it's a digestible way to add texture to their tree. So anything that was like a pre-clipped bow, anything that was hands down our best sellers.
Yeah, I just love the pink bows. I was like, I need this in my life
It's
every day.
great for Valentine's Day.
Love it. So this is a velvet bow topper, and I mean, this price is outrageous online. Like this is so inexpensive. Outrageous isn't good, not bad, but yeah. So
We're
these,
actually going to be launching these in outdoor next year. So you'll be able to get, because that was one of our biggest requests. And actually this year we're launching them. I feel like I never know what year I'm living in.
this season,
This
right?
season. And then new colorways, kind of, these were custom designed. So these you can't, people always ask me, where did I buy them? And you can't. Hopefully for me, but
Yeah, I
They're
want to
all
say that.
wired, and we're going to
Yeah.
be launching like a new silk taffeta one that's coming out that feels really, really luxe and really elevated.
Burlap. I have a thing for
Maybe.
burlap lobes.
Actually, natural textures are really trending this year, and that's one of the concepts that we're going to be doing. So it's a mix of earth tones and natural textures. So that might be, yeah, it might be coming.
Love it.
Sorry, my computer's being weird, so I have to stop sharing real quick and let somebody in, and then I'm gonna make um Miss Whitney our co-host so that if I get cut off, she can take over. Because of the weather right now, and the I think Samantha mentioned earlier, like Dallas and I mean Texas is in a deep freeze, and it's my first time experiencing it, so I can't say anything about what's going to happen with our power or anything. I think it's finally we're thawing out now, but it's been that way.
Stephanie, I discovered you at the Germany shows last year, Christmas World. I think that's where I first found you, and
I'm going
started
back.
following your journey. Are you going there this year?
Yeah, I'm
If you're
going on the
not doing the
5th.
local markets, what?
I'm going on
Yes.
the 5th.
Okay.
How many days are you going to be in Germany?
5.
5 days. Okay.
I think it's 5. I think it's a little. I'm going there, and then next year I'm going to China in October.
Okay. Next year or this year?
This year in October.
That's
Yeah,
okay. Next year for me too.
because I'm actually the majority of our product we selected in October of the year prior.
Mhm.
So the majority of the product that I put in my store, I selected in October the year prior. The main reason I am going to Germany is I do like to see what's new in lights, what's new in fixtures, if there's anything that's like very over the top or different. I kind of like to see those. And there's a lot of companies that do custom work when it comes to all of that stuff. So I always like to start those conversations because you never know the kind of client you're going to have, or if you want to, a lot of times we'll create things from scratch. And so it's better to have that face-to-face relationship.
That makes perfect sense. So what do you think? I mean, you said the bows were the most popular thing this year. What's on trend for well, last year? What's on trend for 26? That's my question. I know
I
you probably
just
don't want to give it away, but
I think that we're still going to see a resurgence of traditional. So you'll see a lot of traditional colors. We saw that last year. I don't think it's going away. I think American Christmas is traditional Christmas, but it's just how that's going to translate for people. I think that for many people, tones are getting darker, they're getting richer, and it's going to be about mixing textures. So you're not going to just use shatterproof. You're not going to just use shatterproof and glass. You're going to be using velvets, shatterproof, glass, beaded. We're going to move our way into this like more is more maximalism kind of aesthetic and ethos. We saw a little bit of it last year, but we did see a lot of simplicity with oversized balls. But now we're going to start seeing a lot of hand tooling, embellishment, a lot of beading, things like that are going to start flowing through. And then something that I saw a lot of people talking about at Atlanta Mart was like beaded fruit or sugared fruit and different
oh,
elements of fruit,
yep.
which more power to you if you want to use it. But what I think that nods to for me is using unconventional materials within your Christmas installations. So whether it's fruit or whether you're using natural textures, like Nancy said, so burlaps and like fat and furs and natural textures, or you're using florals, we're going to see that. That's how I think that's going to translate. It's what unconventional materials can we start using in our Christmas trees to make them feel more transitional and more seasonless. We're going to see white come back. It has been Pantone's color of the year. I think some people are going to be looking for a palette cleanser. So you will see some white, but it's going to be done in different ways. So it'll be white with champagnes, white with taupes, whites with browns, really pretty, really elevated, really kind of aesthetic. And then I don't think plaid's going to be the way around the way it was this year. It's very masculine for trend. And I think we're going to kind of shift over to a more feminine aesthetic for Christmas this year. I think we're going to feel that. But, you know, I could be completely wrong. I predicted circus last year, and apparently circus is the thing this year.
You're just ahead of the game.
I was like a year ahead. I feel like I'm like I was like, yeah, circus is going to be so cute and whimsical. And everyone's like, yeah, circus this year. And I was like, it's
Where
so
is it?
cute. I don't
It's
know.
happening now. It's
It's
happening this
happening
year.
now.
Yeah.
You'll see it. I think you'll see it a lot on social. Like, I think people will do it because it's really fun. It's really whimsical, but I don't know if it'll retail well unless you're in a like an environment where there are lots of kids, things like that.
Right. It's hard to say. But I mean, what I will say is that the I agree with you definitely with the feminine trend coming, and then also using different elements that are not normal elements. Like you said, the beaded fruit, like that's strange, but it's definitely what people want. More
What it is
natural
it's
looking elements
the
and
80s are coming back. So like the 80s are coming back in fashion and apparel. The
woohoo!
shoulders are going to get big. Like just wait. And it's going to translate into Christmas too. Just like so all of that stuff, like the beaded fruit, the topiaries, that stuff is going to be like making its way in. But I like to take little things that I see and translate it my own way. And so I'm like, okay, beaded fruit is using an unconventional element. What other
Right.
unconventional elements can we grab onto to add to our Christmas? So there's going to be a lot of pearls and tooling and things like that that will be really
Right.
beautiful and elevated.
Right. Do you think neon's going to be part of it though?
I think
That's a
there's
super
always
80s
a
color.
neon customer. I think there's always a person that likes that. I just don't think it's going to retail that well. I really think the majority of consumers in America are after American traditional Christmas. They
Right.
like
It's like
pieces they can mix in year after year.
because like the tree that was the best seller in your retail shop was that burgundy one, right? Was that
Yeah.
the biggest seller? That was a
Did it have
traditional.
pink? Did it have pink in it? I saw a lot of
No.
I seeing burgundy and I saw burgundy and pink last year together and thought,
I did.
wow, it took my breath away the way the tree was done. And I think that masculine and feminine meeting and traditional all came together. It was really stunning.
So I did do a burgundy and pink tree that I sold to a consumer in their
Mhm.
home. Pink did well last year. It didn't do as well the year prior. I mean, pink did well this year. It didn't do as well the year prior. But for me, it was mostly tonal. And what I've noticed
Mhm.
in recent years is people are really opting for a tonal look, unless
Yeah.
they're a very, very traditional Christmas where they have a lot of different things on their tree. But I think that like I love there's a lot of color palettes that I do like. Something that I'm gravitating towards is I'm seeing these really rich browns and mustards and like those tones. But what I'm noticing is a lot of people are juxtaposing it with softer colors. So they're doing like a light blue with a mustard. And I don't think that's something that I would do, but I like juxtaposing it with something softer.
Mhm.
Yeah, so we have a question on Facebook. We have people watching us on there. Like I said, the world is seeing this, Stephanie. Whitney, do you want to go ahead and ask the question?
Yes, so I have Nick Seymour. He asked, how do you charge for $150 bow?
How do I charge for it?
Yes.
I take their credit card.
Sign here.
Done.
Right.
Essentially, like if you were a designer or someone who was charging for it, you would charge, it would depend on the rate that you would pay for it. And there usually would be like a 30% spread, I think, depending on where you bought it from. If you bought it wholesale, I think it's closer to 40%. But I actually haven't seen price resistance to it. Like
Right.
that.
So, but what we're seeing on the website is just consumer based pricing. If you're a
Yeah,
wholesaler or reseller, you'd want to get a hold of Stephanie. And as I think online, you can apply for her wholesale account. I didn't check if you could do that online, but
you can. I currently only have a trade program, which is similar to like a design trade program. But if you're buying enough volume, we can work on wholesale pricing.
right. So just get a hold of her and see because the $150 bow, that bow is what, 4 feet?
It's 4 feet, yeah.
The 4 foot bow. And so it's not small. And a 4 foot bow in like the commercial Christmas world is more than $150. Nancy, how much do those cost like on a regular structural bow?
A 48-inch structural bow
Yeah,
is probably 300
three
plus.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's for the exterior
Commercial
structure.
outdoor, but yeah. Indoor is probably even more
My
expensive. Velvet.
commercial,
Right.
I think my commercial outdoor bow is, I haven't, I think it's close to 2 to 250.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah,
Um,
interesting.
Yeah, so
I love
those
that.
bows when you're in the, I'm not sure, Nick, what you do if you're an installer, but that would be something that you'd build into your pricing. So you'd want to get a wholesale account with the vendor. You would get a discount price and you'd mark it up based on your project. So if you're selling someone a tree, Christmas tree for interior, you're going to think of the whole project. You're not thinking about the bow. The bow is just one part. You're thinking about it, but you're putting it in your long line list of items that you're building into that project. Right. So it's the bows, the topper of the tree's included, the ornament package is there. And then you're looking at your costs for all that and then your labor costs, and you're going to price it based on what you need to make with your client. And that just depends on your market. It depends on who your client is, depends on
It
what
really
you're
is so different
pushing.
depending on who your clients are. I talk to designer friends all the time. There is really no like there are parameters for people who are doing residential design, but there really isn't a standard. It just depends on kind of the scale, etc.
Right. So hopefully we answered your question, Nick. If not, put another question in the chat or jump on this Zoom and get on here and ask yourself. You can jump in here and talk to us if you want.
Patrick says hi, everyone.
Oh, Patrick lounging in Mexico. I think they're probably on the water right now. You know, nice. All right. Um, let's see. Miss Whitney, did you have questions for Stephanie at all?
Yes, I actually do. I have a few questions.
Ooh.
So let's see,
Feeling
Miss
like a
Stephanie.
hot seat.
Right.
More
Da.
stress.
So, what mistakes do you see decorators making when trying to move up the market?
I don't like to call out people who
You don't have to say who they are, just in general. You don't have to
It's
give
all a
no
learning
name
curve.
dropping.
I think a lot of time, and I do this myself, I undercharge for certain aspects of the job. I think that's the number one thing. I think when you're starting into a project, you want the jobs, but that doesn't necessarily make you should not undersell your value. I talk to Stacy about this all the time. I think
I
that's the
give her
number
pep
one.
talks that she's worth
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, thank you. And let's
Everyone needs a
see.
Stacy in their corner.
I know, right? For real. And then also, I have another question. What is the most extra request a client has ever made?
Extra.
Yeah,
I,
I
you know,
want to know.
I've been very fortunate and not I feel like I haven't really had anything that extra. I'm really looking forward to the client that does ask me something wild because I'll do it. I'm like begging for that client.
You're like, yes, let me have it, please.
Well, okay, so a project she put out this year that she's bidding, we can't talk about it yet, but if when she gets it, next year we're gonna come on and talk about it. It'll be really extra. I've already seen it.
It's pretty extra. I custom
What you
designed
did
everything.
today. It's
Yeah, I know.
extra. I mean, I'm just blown away by the design. So it's
I essentially I had this I custom designed every single thing that's like from I don't know what I can say and what I can't say.
I know,
But
don't say too much.
no, but
We're
everything
gonna tease them for
essentially
next year.
but I'm hoping it comes to fruition because I want to see this product come to fruition. So when I do these projects and I bid these projects, I come up with these like wild, creative, crazy ideas. And like I pray that they come to fruition because I want to see the product and see it come to life. So when I originally designed the bows for the Coral Gables project, I was so excited to see it come to life. Like I was like, I know, I just in my head, I know what this is going to look like, and I know that this is going to be incredible. And when it came to life, I was like, oh yes, like this is like that's the feeling I love, and that's the feeling I chase because it's like you put something on paper, but then once you get to the moment where it's on a commercial structure, it's like it's magical.
Definitely. So, Miss
Oh,
Miss Samantha has a question. She raised her hand like she's a good
Yes.
here.
I am just, this has just been awesome and I'm learning so much. Wanted to know, I know that you closed up your boutique and I was sad to see that happen. Where are you, what are your plans? Are you planning to reopen it?
So
I'm sure you are, but because my plan is to come visit you this year in Florida.
come visit. We will be here. So my plan is always to have a seasonal store or a flagship location. Long term, I would love to do this across the country. Stacy and I have talked about that. So open pop-ups essentially in mall-based retail across the country so that everyone can experience the store. And then to launch my website. I will likely open in August, September, probably September, and stay September, October, November, December. And then I always close the 23rd. Because I always have a really lean team to make sure that everyone gets to enjoy, or I close the 22nd because so that everyone can enjoy their families and, spend time with the people that they care about. But yeah, I will be open again next year. So come visit.
Okay, thank you.
Of course.
Yeah. And just to segue real quick, if anyone wants to come visit before this year, I keep saying next year too. If anyone wants to come visit us around other places, we're going to be around other places. We're going to be speaking at the Trans World Christmas Show this year. Stephanie and I are going to be talking about this luxury resorts and what you can do to learn more about them. Like, what do you design and what do you need to know? And we're going to give you tips on that. And that should be really amazing. That's actually going to be, I just had the date and time on. I just posted it a few minutes ago, but we are going to be, oh gosh, it's Thursday. Yeah,
Thursday.
we're the first ones up in the Christmas seminar.
I can't wait.
Yeah, we're the first ones up. So if you're coming, make sure you're there by Thursday and that you sign up for this class. So our class is in the general Christmas seminar series, not the installer light series. There's like a bunch of different series of speakers happening at Transworld this year. But Stephanie and I are here. Luxury Christmas experiences, designing for resorts and destinations. You can pay for our class like by itself, or you can buy like a 5-pack of classes on the website, or you can, if you're interested in coming to the Red Sleigh Workshop commercial class, that's on March 25th. So it's the Wednesday before. We have a class from 10 a.m. till 5:30 p.m. And you could buy that class and then buy all the installer series included in it. And then I'll probably just throw this class in as well if you go to my installer series classes. But this one's going to be Stephanie and I on here. And this is in person. And, again, bringing all your questions. And it's a pretty small room. There's usually like under 50 people in each class. I mean, hopefully there'll be that many this year, but that gives you a good opportunity to really get the questions answered that you want and get to meet Stephanie and in person. And it's just a really great show. If you haven't signed up for the Trans World Christmas Show yet, message me and I can help you get signed up for all the different things you need to go to. That's one way you can get a hold of us. The Stephanie, you're not going to the Light It Up Expo, are you?
No, I gotta
You're
look
going
at
to
my
be
travel time.
You'll be in Germany. But Patrick and I are doing our Slay the Season training that's happening February 19th and 20th here in Schertz, Texas. So if you want to come to that, anybody who's listening, we have that training coming up. I thought I had it on my screen here, but I don't have it. So let's see. If anyone's interested in learning more about that, just go to our website. You can click on book your spot for our training. And then it's about, I think it's 23 days. There we go. 23 days away is our training. We have some San Antonio. We have a 1-day training in Dallas coming up. It's a special add-on for the people who are going to the certified lights training, the hands-on training through them. We have the 1-day at Transworld, and then we have 2 more trainings in April that are 2-day commercial trainings. So the 2-day commercial trainings are going to have a lot of classwork, but also the hands-on with some installers teaching you how to put some things together, because that's usually the part where people are really worried about that. I mean, most people I deal with are really worried about how do you talk to the commercial people? Who do you need to talk to at the resort? Or who do you talk to at the city? But besides that, then it's what do I sell them and how do I even do it? So we go through that in the hands-on training. But if someone's brand new, you want to go to certifiedlights.com and go to their in-person training, because they have a 2-day in-person for brand new installers. And this is the actual house. They go put you on this house. So if you go to their training, you're going to climb up on this roof. So that's really, really hands-on. And they teach you all about safety and what's the best way to start your residential Christmas companies. But February, is it 26th and 27th? And then in Dallas, but then the 28th, we have our 1-day commercial class. So if you want to go to all three, go to certifiedlights.com and you can sign up there. And that's my pitch for upcoming trainings and where you can see us. Red Sleigh Workshop is also going to be at the Light It Up Expo in Orlando, March 3rd through the 6th. And we have a vendor booth there, and we're doing a talk with Certified Lights at that expo. I think it's Wednesday afternoon, whatever day that is in March. Anyway, I wish I knew the dates better, but I'm just going to show up. And I'm sure we have it on our socials somewhere too. But I'm hoping to get Stephanie to come to one of our trainings one of these days. So maybe I'm going to tease that out there that we can maybe get her to come talk about her commercial.
Orlando is possible.
Yeah, Orlando is possible. Yeah, it's not that far, but you're in town that week, right? The first week of March.
I have to check because
Okay.
in March I have spring break for my children.
There
No,
you
actually,
go.
no, it's in April.
Oh,
I need to get one of those calendars.
I have a big A calendar behind me right here.
Yeah, I need a kid calendar.
Oh,
No, I forgot it was teacher planning day like 2 weeks ago.
yeah, it happens. Yeah. Whitney, do you have your hand up, ma'am?
I do have one more question for Miss Stephanie. Okay. What is the biggest turning point that helped you break into the luxury market?
Ooh.
I think I just decided to do it. I was like, I'm gonna do this. Because I
She's
knew
like,
I know I can't compete. I can't, there's so many great installers who are installing at a HOA office building level. They do great work and I can't compete with that. So where would I be able to enter the market where I could actually compete? And so to me, I wanted to carve out a space in the market that felt different and creating something that's personalized and customizable. That's where I stand out. And that's where I'm able to create something different. There are a lot of incredible Christmas installers. There's a lot of incredible Christmas product in the world, but it's about figuring out where you can stand out and what will make you different from everyone else that's out there.
right. So she was just like, I'm not doing anything but the best. So here we
No,
are.
because I can't compete because once it gets to when you're in certain project scales, it's like a price game. And they have all the inventory, all the stuff. And so I initially was like, I'm going to do high-end residential design and customized Christmas, bespoke Christmas for luxury resorts. And that's where I will stand out.
Yep. That makes perfect sense. Thanks for that answer. All right. Do we have any other questions on our panel here? Nancy, go ahead.
I can ask a bunch. What's your biggest financial surprise when starting your own business, whether it be the storage or the air freight or the last minute install costs? What
All of
do you
these
not
things.
budget? Everything? Okay.
Storage is a big thing. Square
Yeah.
footage in Miami, as Stacy knows, is very expensive. So it can range from $19 to $24 a square foot. So when I'm storing a lot of these big commercial projects, it's a lot of square footage. So I'm working on better estimates for those kinds of things. Increase in labor costs. Labor this year was astronomical for me. I also sometimes I have big ideas, but when it comes to like the execution of them, I didn't budget for certain things. So like a perfect example, my bows, I was like, yeah, they're just gonna go up. But there's like a nuts and bolts of like, how do we get them up? What kind of crane do we use? Those kinds of things. And now I'm doing a lot of that work beforehand and pricing it out beforehand. Whereas before, since I'm a one-woman team, I was rushing to kind of solidify everything. But I think all of this is the learning curve. And I'm very fortunate and very blessed to my mom, who has done this for 20 plus years. She is like, I work with her on a lot of things. And so I think that I had a little less surprises than I expected. But I think, yeah, I think I also do things that are very labor intensive. So the trees that I produce don't just have 50 ornaments on them. Like one of my ball trees has 500 ornaments, which are pre-wired. So like all of those little things add up.
Were the tariffs a concern for you last season, and are they for you this upcoming season?
85% of all Christmas goods are manufactured in China.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, yes, they're always a concern for me. I think that things are getting more and more expensive, but I think there is a ceiling when it comes to our product. And I know Stacy has some manufacturers in the US now, which kind of helps diversify my supplier base if I need things quickly or I need things that I can't get from overseas. But it's a major concern for me, especially starting a new business because I don't have rental inventory that exists. We have a warehouse in Dubai, but it's different.
Yeah. Where do you get most of your clients today? From your social media platforms, referrals, cold calling, LinkedIn, etc.?
I would say that I reached out to I essentially bid and reached out to every single one of the products that I got. And I got a lot of no's. So you get a lot of no's before you get yeses because not everyone is a perfect fit for you as a client, and you're not a perfect fit for everyone as a designer or a project lead. And that's okay. So I will bid 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times that. For residential, I get a lot of my residential clients through the store, or I get them through referrals. Now I'm starting to get people through social, but my biggest issue is I don't have capacity to take on everyone that wants to work with me. And I'm looking to grow, but I also don't want to, if someone's hiring me to do their home or me to do their thing, I want to do it. So figuring out that balance is interesting.
So on that note, what projects what are the things that you would say no to? Or what are do you have a list of this is my ideal client who this is going to work with. I'm not going to work with A, B, or C. Do you have that kind of perimeter set up?
So I do now. I didn't last year, but I've established certain benchmarks that are define what will be a good project for me and what won't be a good project for me.
Right.
And then I also really focus on what I have capacity for. So if I'm doing, I have to cap myself because I'm the type of person who likes to take on too much. And although our company has been around for 30 plus years in theory, because we have our Dubai business, we've done Christmas installations in the US over and over again. I have to cap myself because I'll take on too much.
Then I'll just end one more question. So I've been curious following the Dubai entertainment industry and all the theme parks and opening there and wondering whether or not they are going to decorate and celebrate a traditional Western Christmas. So what is Christmas in Dubai?
So there is a big Western population there. So there is. So all the hotels do very high-end Christmas because there are a lot of people that come in for that time of year. That being said, I don't know if the theme parks are going to do it. That I'm just not sure about.
Yeah, I've just been curious and waiting.
I can totally ask, but that I'm not sure about. But most of the hotels, most of the properties there do it, and they go very over the top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I just ask, this has been just awesome. And of course, Stacy and Stephanie, I follow and support you on Instagram, but the other persons that are on the call, do you mind putting your tags in the chat so that I can follow you guys? And I'll put mine there as well, because this has just been amazing. And I would love to support you, Nancy.
Thanks.
Miss
Okay.
Nancy,
Can you
really
show
active
her?
on LinkedIn.
Can you
What?
say hi? Can you please? Can we see the baby, please?
Can we see the baby? Whitney, show your baby. Oh, you show your baby too. Oh, look it.
Oh wow. Oh, she's so smart. So precious. Thank you, Stephanie. And Whitney, let's see your
How old
baby.
is she?
How old are you?
Oh, peekaboo.
She's 3.5.
Oh,
Oh, how
wow.
sweet. Whitney, where's your baby?
Yep.
I have to live vicariously through you guys. My children are 36 and 30.
Oh, yeah, different world. Well, thank you guys so much for all being here. If you guys want to put your handles in the chat here, where they can get a hold of you, I know um, that I'm going to put it in the notes on the Facebook and on YouTube and stuff when this gets on posted on there. But I really appreciate you, Stephanie, taking the time. Nancy, I know you're super active on LinkedIn, so people can look you up there right away and find you. Um, but this is the right kind of conversation that I like to have. You know, we didn't go too much into about like the mom and the business part. We should probably have another follow up about that too, because that's a big deal for me. And I know for everyone who's here. But if you're watching and you're thinking like, yeah, I really want to get into the Christmas business, hopefully we didn't scare you away by all we talked about today. But if you want to start moving in that direction, growth in the industry is definitely still available. Like I said, you can go to redsleighworkshop.com. You can look up our trainings for commercial Christmas. You can also go to certifiedlights.com and look up the trainings for beginning residential Christmas. You can go to Stephanie's TikTok and follow her on there and see all her adventures. And Red Sleigh Workshop is here to help you. I help with one-on-one consultations as well as ongoing consultations. So anyone who has a Christmas company, residential or commercial company, I have a $500 2-hour consultation that I go through with them. And after that, I give them like actual plans for how to get to the next level, whatever goals they have. And we go really in depth through their business and find gaps and try to help them to figure out how they can better present themselves in the market to where they want to be. Because not everybody wants to be a $10 million Christmas company. Some people just want to be, make their first million and be happy, right? So everyone's at different places, but I really do appreciate everyone who's here. Thank you, Stephanie. Like so many questions came up that I still want to talk to you about, but I have to like end on time. So I'm just really glad that you're here and being so transparent and open to share about yourself. It's so important to me that people are open and transparent. That's part of like my business culture. So much is transparency and honesty and all that. Just how we can work together. I really appreciate you. And Patrick, I'm sure he would say that too. He appreciates you from wherever he's at in the ocean. And then thank you so much, Nancy, for being here. Samantha, Whitney, Ryan, whoever else was on here that I didn't say hi to. Thanks for taking the time tonight. And we'll be back on Wednesday. Not everybody, but some of us will be here. We have Chris Rios coming on. He's also speaking at Trans World Christmas Show, but he's with permanentlightinstallations.com. So if you're interested in getting into the permanent light business, it's a big hot topic right now. Everybody's doing it, but everybody needs to because the money is there. So I'm going to have him talk about permanent lighting and the commercial side of permanent lighting on Wednesday night. So we'll hope to see you then. And thank you all so much again for being here and have a wonderful night, everybody. Stephanie, any last words you have? I'm sorry, Stephanie, I give you the chance to give some final words.
It was wonderful speaking with everyone.
All right. Thank you. Bye.
Thanks again.